to our first video for the military model making couple. I'm Cheryl.
Kat.
Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for joining us and we hope you enjoy the show.
That's all for now.
Right, welcome to our channel. This is our first joint video. I need to firstly apologise for the delay. It was supposed to be done at the weekend at our old property, but unfortunately we've just recently moved address. So firstly, apologies for the delay in the video. Basically this intro, let's say, is literally, that's what it is, it's an intro. We're going to talk briefly about how we got into modelling, how we started, what we're doing, and we might even throw some pictures in later on. So basically I'm going to hand you over to Kat, who currently is the page owner of Shed37. Check it out on Facebook, I'll chuck the links somewhere in this video. And I'm from CD3.
It'll be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Follow the links on the bottom one. And comment as well.
And I'm from CD33R4, which is kind of an acronym of my surname. But like I say, we'll chuck the Facebook links in later on. Meanwhile, I will throw you to Kat. So Kat, tell us briefly how you got into modelling and when you started and how old you were.
Well, like most children, unfortunately, Thomas the Tank Engine played a huge part. No surprises there for most of us. Started around about 10 or 11 years old. Visited a shop that is no longer with us, sadly, but this was many years ago, called C&G Model Railways in Darlington, a long time ago. Went into there a few times, got bits and pieces, messed about a bit, didn't really get anything proper, like what I would call concrete down until I was about maybe 14 or 15, and that was dabbling in N-gauge.
What is N-gauge for people who don't know what N-gauge is?
9mm track gauge, and I can't, no sorry, 1 to 148, I think.
Model railways, basically.
Yeah. Did a bit of 00 for a wee while, didn't get very far in that. Started in 009, which is 4mm scale stock and buildings, but on 9mm gauge track, hence 009. And more recently, the Shed37 layout has developed exponentially because I took a break for
quite a few years.
It'd be about 4 or 5 years, wouldn't it? Something like that. And yeah, well, things have changed radically. There's been a lot more developments in the model railway industry over the last, say, 10 years. And it's like, whoa!
So how did you learn about these changes? Where have you worked to introduce you to the changes that are nowadays standards of model railway?
Well, I worked in 2 model railway shops, both at separate times, obviously. One was a shop that, again, no longer is operational, called DRM, Darlington Railway Modelling, which was ran by a really nice gentleman called Mike Fishwick, who's still a friend of mine. Very well-known model maker throughout the scene, predominantly concentrates on 7mm scale, which is otherwise known as O gauge. Does American outline and various little bits and pieces like that. And then more recently another shop called Peter's Spares, where I did chipping and repair work there for a few months, and those different little experiences was a case like that was the eye-opener to say, this is what's happening now. And to be fair, it's evolved. Everything's evolved. Even model making in your particular province has evolved a hell of a lot, considering what was out there compared to what's out there now.
Yeah, because I never done modelling at all till earlier this year, and it was basically Kat's fault that I got into modelling.
I take full responsibility.
He was going back into model railways and he was asking me, like, what would I model if I had a choice, and I said, well, either military planes or basically tanks. So he went and bought me my first 172 scale model aeroplane by Airfix, which was a Curtiss Tomahawk, which I built really quite quickly.
But building skills are faster than mine. This is not good.
And this is someone who's never done model making previously. I'm very determined. I'll get stuff done. If I want something doing that day, it will be done. If it takes me 10 hours, 12 hours, if that's my aim, that's what I'll do. I think my Curtiss was done in about a week.
No, not even that.
Not even that. In between work though.
You didn't have any work that week.
Okay.
I think you maybe had 2 shifts. One was on the Monday, and the subsequent was on the Friday.
So how many days did it take me to do my Curtiss with it? Putting it together,
From
painting
start
it,
to finish,
fixing it.
paint, decals, the whole works. 3 days.
That was my
For
first. It was a skill set one, admittedly, which is like the very lowest of the scale, but I quite liked it, and I attempted to weather it, but then lo and behold, this will make you laugh. I didn't realise that aeroplanes don't rust. So I did this amazing rust weathering on it. Looked smart as. But then one of my colleagues said, aeroplanes don't rust, do they? I was like,
No,
do they not?
unfortunately, because the Curtis
Oh.
Tomahawk has an aluminium airframe structure, it merely mists. It just mists, nothing else.
Yeah, but I did this excellent rusty modelling weathering thing, and it looked cool as anything. And then she was like, no, you don't put rust on airplanes. I was like, epic
Well, no,
fail.
technically you can.
Yeah,
You
but
can,
we said we
depending
were
upon
going
the
to say it
construction.
was, we found it in a scrapyard, and basically
It was
the
buggered.
story is it's been found in the scrapyard, it's been sat under a big sheet, loads of metal, all the colours transferred onto it, which is why it's got rust patches. Um, and basically I've also built an RAF recovery set to be sat next to that, because I am doing a diorama, but I'm not going to tell you about that till a later video. But up to now, how many planes have I done, would you say?
6.
I'm on to my 6th plane. I've done a Curtis Tomahawk, Spitfire. Then for my 3rd plane, I did a Bristol Blenheim. Nightmare. None of the bits fitted together. It was dreadful. But it still looked pretty cool. Did it in night fighter colours. Then
Well,
I did.
I was going to say, we have noticed from other Facebook users on such as Model Officers Mess and a couple of other Facebook pages that the Bristol Blenheim
It's a
seems to
pig of a
have
kit anyway, apparently.
issues. Airfix, people at Airfix, people, well, Humble, whatever you are, please take note, the die needs readjusting.
Yeah.
Whether you've done it 2 or 3 times already, people are having issues because it goes together
There's
relatively
gaps.
well.
There was gaps between my fuselage and my
skill set
cockpit,
was
which
it?
was about, it was a 3.
Even for a skill set 3. Now,
No clue how to fit, how to sand, how to fill.
Quick bit of
Not a
paperback history for the in respect of Hawley stroke Meccano, kind of one and the same firm, believe it or not. They used to write the Meccano instructions intentionally wrong to force you to actually think how to do it. Airfix people, Hornby, because it's Hornby that's the parent company for Airfix as far as I know. You need to kind of rethink things because people won't always think like that it's
Meccano
done
brain,
wrong
not Meccano
intentionally. With not everybody's Meccano brain. There's certain people, there's certain ones of us that think, hang on a minute, oh no.
I just like, it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. I will make
this bit
it
of the
fit.
instruction doesn't work yet. Backtrack it, swap it about. Now it works. Please sort it.
It doesn't matter anyway. I finished the Blenheim. It looks amazing. It doesn't matter now. I've already built it. I've fixed it. It looks pretty cool. Night fighter colours even nicer. Then I have done a de Havilland Mosquito,
Mozzie.
which I call De Mozzie. I lovingly refer to that as De Mozzie. Also in night fighter colours. And then I've also just recently completed the RAF fire engine truck and the RAF recovery crane. The actual other bit is his job because he's supposed to be building the ambulance and the other part of my trailer unit, which surprisingly I'm still waiting for.
Slight course of correction. It's built.
No, you haven't done the tracks of it. The front half of the trailer bit.
Okay, the tractor's still pending, but the trailer's
it's
built.
Not finished. He hasn't painted it. It's not finished.
I build trailers for a living. What can I say?
Yeah, but he doesn't build model trailers.
No, I play with big toys. I play with Meccano on a daily basis. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. Just, yeah.
Are you done?
But maybe.
And the current project I'm working on is a Gloucester Meteor, which is an original mould from 1969. That's having all sorts of issues as well. But like I said, these are all for a diorama that I'm building.
It's tail end heavy.
Roughly, loosely based on RAF Thornaby, which is up towards my own old hometown in Stockton-on-Tees. It was a World War II airfield, and basically I'm not telling you the full story. You can go check my Facebook page for the kind of what I'm doing, pictures like that. But basically all the planes I'm building are currently going to go into diorama, which I thought it was going to be a lot smaller than it was, but my design, it's going to be
IPM, IPMS?
IPMS, yeah.
IPMS Scale Model World Telford, last month. No, actually, it was the beginning of this month.
It was
wasn't
earlier this month.
Sorry, beginning of this month or thereabouts, right? A bit of an eye opener. We looked at one particular airfield in the international room, which was the kind of the first hall you come into.
It was all the American USAF Air Force 70 years, so it had a massive.
Just one board,
massive.
measured somewhere in the region of around about 6 foot by 3 foot, and only had about 7 aircraft on it.
I've got 6, and I've got this, and I've got that, but yeah, it's going to be a bit bigger, so I'm going to build it in bits, we think. Kat's going to help me with the diorama base, because, again, zero experience with anything in regards to modelling, so Kat's coming on board to help me with the diorama base, with the static graphs and things like that, which is some of the experience he's gained while doing his model railways. Now, just before we go, a bit of an insight. Kat's inspiration that he's currently building on, the Shed 37, tell us a bit of history, like, about your inspiration for that particular layout. Like, what's it based on?
How much time have we got?
About 5 minutes.
Might be able to crunch it down a bit.
We need to put pictures in, though. We will put pictures in between, because this is going to be edited, and we're going to put pictures of our builds of the Shed 37 layout. But this is just the initial video before we chuck all the other bits in, because I'm also relearning how to video edit. I haven't been edited a video since I was about 18, which is quite a lot of years ago now. I'm not going to tell you my age, but it's quite a lot of years ago. So I'm relearning how to video edit. So if this first video, when it comes together, looks a bit shabby, I'm sorry. It's my fault because I'm still learning. So anyway, tell us about your history of why you are doing this particular Shed 37 layout right now.
Well, it's a mixture of 3 different narrow gauge railway systems that were private military functions. One is now forgive me if I mispronounce this, but I'm running it phonetically. A place called Trecwyn, spelled Trecwn. Again, correct me if I am wrong on that. I've got no issues in anybody checking me up on that pronunciation of that. The other site is Dean Hill, which is actually quite well covered on the internet in terms of like photos of the original site. It, again, like a lot of military narrow gauge systems or military systems full stop, doesn't exist. It got turned into a kind of an industrial stroke industrial commercial park a couple of years ago, as far as I'm aware. None of the track works there or anything else like that anymore, from what I understand. And the other site, which is actually a bit more, for me, closer to home, is what's called BAD, Base Armaments Depot, Eastrix, which is just over the road from MOD Longtown, which is where I used to have family that worked there for quite some years. And the Eastrix site is based upon Gretna. The Devil's Porridge Museum is there as well, so it's actually near Gretna Green, where there used to be a massive munitions factory back in World Wars 1 and 2, but they just kept the narrow gauge facility operational to just store armaments and such, various weapons and stuff like that. And that's about the Reader's Digest. That's a mild summary of the system, yeah.
On another side thing, in regards to Kat's Shed 37, he's actually got a magazine article, it's a newspaper article coming in at the end, is it January's?
I believe it is.
The Railway Modeller newspaper?
No, the Railway Magazine Guide to Railway Modelling.
So he's got actually a section in there which should come out about January. He needs to do some updated pictures, but he has that done by the end of this week.
Well, I think the article I think is going to press.
Yeah, but we have to have all the information by the end of this week.
Well, the editor got in contact with me.
He needs some more pictures
and
things. Yeah. But we're going to get some more pictures. He needs to send some more pictures up, and he needs to build a couple more containers and things, don't you?
Yeah, there's one little plan that's changed a bit from the original design, and once that gets put in, that's going to look quite sweet, I think.
Well, anyway, I think we should wrap this up now.
Yeah.
Sorry if we waffled off and got a bit lost, but we were trying to keep below 15 minutes.
And so far we're at 47 seconds.
Yeah, and we still need pictures. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us. We hope you don't find us too dull. But to be fair, we're still learning ourselves.
Yeah.
So our next video we think is going to be based at where we go buy our models from. Chester Model Centre. We've got permission from the shop to do a video there. That'll probably come in a couple of weeks when we next go over to Chester. But you'll just have to wait for that one. So for now, thank you for joining us and like our video, subscribe
to
below.
the channel. Yeah.
Like I said, I'll get all our links to our individual Facebook pages chucked in this video description somewhere.
Our videos in the future will probably be bit shorter because obviously this is just an intro for what we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep them below 10 minutes if possible. Like I said, we are running 2 separate sets of videos, so we've got a set of Shed 37 videos which will be getting updated periodically, and we've got my CD33R4 videos, and then we're going to do joint ones maybe once, twice a month.
There'll be playlists set up so you can choose whichever channel you want or which section you wish to follow.
And we'll try not to have them linking on to one another, so then you can watch individual videos like as standalone projects. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Thank you and goodbye, and we will see you again soon. And just for the record, we are the military. Go on. The military model making couple. Bye bye.